Good morning, class. Welcome again to this lecture of CSAT. We are studying the unit Simulation and Modeling. We have already seen what you mean by simulation, the process of creating, analyzing a prototype or a physical model to predict the performance of a system. And then we have seen what is the purpose of understanding the behavior or the operation, and use of simulation is for the optimization of certain very many properties and to understand whether what could be the reason, maybe in case of failure, or how the part will fail, or how can you remove the failure for a particular part. Then so many things. Then to new policies, procedures, what if questions, then time. So that means with simulation we can model, and we can model a prototype and exactly as it would be in the real world with certain properties, with certain constraints, and on that we can carry out the experiments to understand the effects of the particular variables, prominent variables, major variables, or what would be the effect of removing certain things. And it would be very easier, cheaper and faster building the real system. Without having to actually build the real system, you can experiment the real system, and because of that it would be very feasible, possible and easier for you to predict, to build a perfect system, because you have already created a model, and on that model you have simulated the things, and on that simulation you have added the parameters. The only thing is that you have prepared it to a particular scale, or you have used the simulation on. When you talk about models, you can prepare different types of models, but when you talk about simulation, you have done simulation to a particular thing on a computer screen, and there you have seen the effects of varying the certain parameters of that particular systems. So with that you understand which parameter is prominent, which is affect which of the quality, and which is not affecting that much. So what is the position when you remove one, when you add one, and when you increase certain parameters, certain things. So depending on that, what would be the effect on the output. So all this you get without actually building the system. So that process is called as simulation, and it can be used in a number of things. Now there are, what are the different steps in simulation? First of all, you formulate the problem, you collect information or data, and construct assumptions or document. Then, are the assumptions or document valid? Then you program the model. Then is that model program that is valid? Then you design, conduct and analyze experiments, and you document the present and document the results. So the very first thing is that you should formulate the problem. That is problem formulation, setting up of objectives, then model conceptualization, data collection, model transformation, verification, validation, experimental design, production design and documentation, reporting and implementation. Now there are different kinds of simulation. We'll see all these steps in detail. Now we'll see what are different kinds of simulation. When the state of system changes only at discrete event, that is times. Examples, customers arrive at bench brand, parts moving in production line. Such kind is called as discrete simulation. That means there is a particular element, that is a time element. The system only changes when certain event happens. The system is not changing by itself. The system, suppose you take as a bank as an entire system, then it only changes when a particular customer arrives. So that is discrete simulation. Continuous simulation, it is represented by algebraic or differential equations with variables that changes continuously. Example, nuclear reactions, chemical process, ocean waves. The name itself indicates continuous simulation means where the things are changing continuously. For example, if you try to simulate a particular chemical process, so in that chemical process the situations are changing continuously because the process is going on continuously. So that is the continuous simulation. Then mixed simulation, so metal molding and casting ecosystems. So metal molding and casting, you are very much well aware of what. So it changes with the time and it changes with certain event also. So that is a mixed simulation. So discrete simulation means when some another variable that is outside of the system comes into the system, a parameter of the system outside of the system, when it comes into the system, then the change in the system takes place. That is a discrete simulation. Continuous simulation means it is changing continuously over a period of time, whether or not any external parameter or factor has been entered or has been removed or added into the system. Mixed means it is either the system continuously changes itself and it also changes itself when certain external factors are being added to it. Now dynamic means when the system changes over time, and stochastic means it is random with input. It is random with, it is not always possible, random with input. So the examples may be where when the randomness arises. When we talk about a particular casino, then there are things that are randomness, the probability. So these are the things that are randomness. Now look here, the simulation is something like this. In real world there is a certain problem. So in real world you establish a purpose and a scope. There is a particular problem in the real world. Then what you have done, you have formulated the conceptual model. Then you have acquired and analyzed the data. Then you developed simulation model. Then you have verified and validated that model. Then you experimented with that. Then you executed simulation. Then finally you have configured it, and that is being supplied to the real world. So that is the entire cycle. So what is it? Let us see it again. First of all, establish purpose and scope. Now, what is exactly a problem? There might be a problem in an inventory system, there might be a problem in a lane management system, or there are certain variations. So, simulation can be of anything. If you conduct a particular survey and you want to simulate the values, you can do that. So, simulation means you have to predict the behavior of the system. Then, system can be a production system, then it can be inventory management system, it can be the policies implementation, then transport management system, highway systems, or whatever. Anything can be system, and there are certain factors which affect that. Suppose we talk about a particular engine and a cylinder, so the performance of a specific engine, then there can be the parameters which can be varied. So that is also a system. So system can be anything, a combination of parameters which when come together they function, they have certain tasks, certain entities, certain activities, they function together. That is a system. So now you have to specifically establish what is the purpose and the scope. Now it is very much important. Suppose if we talk about the engine optimization, now there are certain parameters that could include the design of the engine, the supply of the fuel, the quality of supply of the fuel, then the chemical constituents, the chemical constituent of the fuel supplied, then you can say the compression ratio, then the piston movement, then the torque that is developed. So all these parameters, they can form a variables, and with that variable, if you increase some, if you decrease some, because you know what we generally do in experiments, we either increase certain parameters, we remove certain parameters, or we add new parameters. That is all what we can do when we experiment. So you have to specifically establish what is the goal. If you want to optimize, that means the performance of the engine must be optimized. That means for the given fuel, we are not changing the quality or quantity of the fuel, but we want to change other parameters. That is, we want to change certain output. So what modifications can be done? So that kind of specific purpose establishing. Then formulate a conceptual model. Conceptual model means what is it? It could be a mathematical model, an analytical model. We'll see the models again in detail. And on that you have certain calculations. Likewise, we as such we have to have the chemical reactions. That is the constituents and the output. So there are certain models based on which we can analyze. Okay, it should be this thing. Then acquire and analyze data. So that is the very important factor, that is acquire and analyze data. So you have to collect a lot of data. Suppose we talk about this, then you have to collect, okay, in this particular fuel, at this particular speed, with the design of the engine, we get this much of the performance. Then there are so many variations in that. When one parameter change, what was the performance during winter, during rainy season, during hot weather, when it is climbing the mountain, when it is running down the mountain, when the road is fixed, and so many things. So you must have that data with you, because only and only if you are having the data, you are going to validate it. And here comes a very important concept, that is data management. Data scientist, there is a very important post in the IT, that is data scientist, because everywhere you need a lot of data, and that data has to be managed, and it can be of anything. So you have to acquire and analyze that data. Okay, so you will acquire and analyze it. Then develop simulation model and program. So what you can do with the, first of all, what you can do here before developing the actual model, that means you have to design the model. When we talk about the mechanical things, then you have to design that model. So you will design the model of engineering, you will take into consideration certain constraints, all the values, and then you will design that model, and then you will develop a simulation model. Based on that, you will develop the simulation model. That means you will design an engine, and you will design means I have told you in the last lecture also to be very specific about design and drawing. So a drawing you have already created of that particular engine that is producing the torque, the output you are getting it somewhere else, but you have to design it. Design means you have to consider the actual constraints, the particular forces acting on those things. So all that you have to consider, and then you have designed a particular system. So you have designed a simulation model. So in that model you can see actually you are inserting you can use certain tools available. There are many simulation tools, then drawing tools, analysis tools, and so many things. They are all available in the market. So what you can do, you can use that tool to design them, and after designing you can simulate them. So in the simulation what you can see that you are adding fuel into it, then you have already selected the properties and the values and the quantities of the fuel, and then you are producing the output. So in the next part what you are doing, you are modifying those parameters. You are changing the ambient temperature to XY Celsius, then you are changing the velocity of the air, you are changing a particular speed, or you are changing the conditions of the road, or whatever it is, some variables you are varying, and in that so that means you are validating that particular model. So you have simulated it, that means you have prepared a simulation model based on certain parameters, and then you are verifying and validating that model. Okay, if I change this parameter, if I suppose when the velocity of air is very low, so the engine will not cool very easy, that is the engine cylinder will take a larger time to cool. So when it takes a larger time to cool, some of its energy may be taken by the developed will be taken for the cooling of the engine. So here the performance can affect. So that is the thing. So this kind of many things are there. So this will affect. So you are verifying and validating the particular model that you have designed. Experiments, exactly, it is one and the same thing, that is verify and validate means the model is actually working, that you have verified, and changing all these things, that means from this you can combine it in once, developing a model and testing it, that is very thing. Verification and validation of data, it can be combined as verification and validation of data. That means you have developed a particular model, then you have changed the situation, then with that you experimented, and on that you could get a specific output. Out of that experiments you got a specific output. That is obviously it is done. Now our work is done. We have got the output. We have designed a specific engine. We have actually taken the constraints that we are. Then we have checked it. We have tested it the real values that we have, and we got the required output. We have done this with the help of certain software tools, techniques on a laptop or a computer screen. And when we have designed, we have used the actual parameters. And then what we have done, we have seen the output. We have varied the different parameters. We vary so many number of parameters, and based on that we have calculated so many things. We have done lot of experiments, and based on those experiments we have come to a particular conclusion. So as I've told you, out of those, suppose you take 110 readings by varying one thing. Suppose you consider 4 parameters. You consider the parameter as the quantity and quality of the fuel, one. Then you are changing its chemical composition. So in chemical composition, if there are 2 things, you are adding one, or forget about the chemical composition, it is not in hand. What we are doing, we are changing the quantity of air, we are changing the ambient temperature, then we are changing the torque, then we are changing the conditions, which is the power when it is required. So these 4 parameters, so one by one we are changing one, we are increasing another, we are changing one, remaining, keeping the remaining or the rest same. So many number of experiments you can perform, and based on those experiments you can get here your specific data. Now you can analyze your output, and out of that output you get a specific configuration control, means you get a certain result which is supplied to the real world, and that is the real world solution. So that is the real world solution. Without actually manufacturing the engine and conducting the experiments on that and varying the parameters, you have all done it with the help of certain tools, techniques and softwares, and that is called as simulation. That means a real world problem is being solved by making the model of this, considering all those factors, without actually fabricating or making that particular model or making that particular equipment or a system. So without actually doing that, you have done this. And what is the benefit of doing this? Why it is required? Because this has saved you a lot of time. This has saved you a lot of money, and the amount that would be required for building a model is much less. That is not more than 1/10 of the actual cost. So that is at all justifiable. So that is completely justifiable, that cost. So you can easily do that. So that was entirely the steps in simulation, the exact concept of simulation. So that is what simulation is. Now here you can see, you have once, here there is a particular problem. Here you can see again you have one problem, and this is the model world. Okay, now this is your solution and this is the environment. Now what happened, you can see that was your problem. Then you made a model, and then you have done the simulation analysis. Then you have done the simulation. There is some problem. So here you can see the problem can be anything. The problem can be of inventory or a very simple thing such as, suppose we talk about a coffee shop. So how many number of people are coming on the weekdays? What must be the number of the employees there? If you want to reduce the time to serve to a particular customer, or what would be a specific item that would be required in large number of quantity, so that you should be available with that. So problem could be anything, or you are waiting on or a transport vehicle, that is you have to such as you have such as you have so many transportation company has so many trucks. So what should be the position, how should you take the order? So all these things, problem could be anything that could be solved by simulation. So on this problem you design the model, and how you design a model, you make assumptions, you consider certain things, and you make a model. You first can make a mathematical model, a physical an analytical model, and out of that you can create a simulating model. And on simulation analysis there are certain things which you have improved. Now after simulation you can understand that certain parameters when added, deleted, edited or updated, the model is improved, and that model improved is the real solution. And that model improved is the real solution. Now why we have done all these things, why we directly not go for the actual manufacturing? Because it is not possible at all many times to experiment, or it is too expensive. Many times it is very much expensive to go for the actual fabrication, or go for the actual production, or go for the actual system which in the real world. So that is not possible, that is very much expensive, or majority of the cases, many of the cases it is not possible. So that why we have went for the simulation. Now I'll show you certain things. In a very word you can explain this simulation as a research problem, then you have made a conceptual model, out of that you have made a simulation model, and then your research problem is solved, and you have validated the entire data. Now we'll move for the another PPT. Here I want to show you. So now you can understand here what could be the problem in simulation. What are the problems that you can, a study of the effect of changing flight patterns on the number of airplane accidents. So now there are so many accidents that are taking place for a particular airplane, for a particular flight, or so many number of flights. Then what is the changing flight pattern? So for this you cannot go and directly experiment there. That means you can grow, because it is impractical to create this situation. You cannot create these situations. So the accidents are taking place. So why these accidents are taking place? You have to go through the simulation part only, because you cannot do that. You can take that plane into particular condition, you can vary the parameters, you can change in the air things, so that whether to see whether it affects or not, because in that case what will happen, you are going to lose your life, that may cause an accident. So it is an impractical solution to go for it. You cannot create that situation. So where it is not possible to create that situation, you can solve that problem by simulation. And how do you solve that problem by simulation? You have to consider all the data, you have to design that particular system in a specific environment, and then you have to go for the trial runs, and based on those runs you can come to a particular conclusion, and after that conclusion you can implement that and you can see the results. Now your real world problem is been solved without actually creating the situation. A study effect of eating oatmeal on lowering blood pressure. Okay, here what you can do, here you can regularly check the blood pressure, and out of that you can go for the solution. Again there can be certain observational things, because a study of how fourth grade students solve a puzzle. So you can directly observe them and you can see this. So that is another method of solving a problem. So for a specific problem where it is not possible to use your logic, where it is not possible to solve it with common sense, where it is not possible to expense lot on directly going through the particular situation, and when it is impractical to create that situation, so at such situations you have to go for simulation. So these are the certain things about this particular thing. Then there are solutions like survey and so many things. So now we will see what are the different types of simulation model. Discrete model, changes to the system occur at specific times. Continuous model, we have already seen changes occur over a period of time. And mixed models, it is one and the same, both are the same things. We have already covered it. Now, what exactly we do in experimental design and model verification? Alternative scenarios to be simulated, type of output data, steady state versus terminating simulation analysis. That means you have done experiment, and then how many experiments you have done, that is the number of simulation runs. The analysis of data when the system is steady and when the system is in motion, that is when you are changing the system attributes in a steady state and in the dynamic state when there are certain changes, that is terminating simulation analysis. Then length of each run, the manner of initiation and variance of reduction. So this is how you generally design an experiment. So what we do in experiment, we change the parameters. Then what we do is study in the steady state, we analyze the data. Then after terminating this simulation analysis, what are the exactly data analysis, steady state versus this one. Then number of simulation runs, length of each run, that is how much time it is required to conduct, and so many things. Then it is what is validation and verification. So we really understand by this particular word. It is a real world system. Then you have prepared a conceptual model, and then you have made a simulating model. So here you can see the arrow goes like this. You verify. You first validate. Validation is process determining whether the concept is an accurate representation. Validation means it just verifies whether your model that you have built is accurate representation of the actual system being analyzed. Validation deals with building the right model. So that is validation. Validation means first of all you are justifying ki, okay, you are validated means the model that you have built. The model that you have built is exactly representing the real world problem that you have to solve, for which you want a solution. So that is validation. And what is then verification? Verification means checking the program which building the model. That means verification means then you have to verify. It is the process of determining whether simulation computer works as intended. That means you have built the right system. Okay, your particular model that you have been, it is up to the mark and it is producing, and it is up to the mark, and it is exactly representing the real world problem that you want to solve or for which you want a solution. Now verification is you have built the model correctly. Now how correctly it works. So that is what you do in verification. So that is verification and validation of data. Validation means to check whether your model is up to the mark, it represents the actual system. And verification means you checking whether that particular model which you have already validated is working as required. So that is validations. You can understand through this diagram here. It is real world system, then simulation program, it should be validation, and it is verification. That means both things must be done. First of all, the model must be validated and then it must be verified. So now next we will come to the different kinds of model, different kinds of systems. What do you mean by system models and simulation? So before going to that, let us just complete this thing. What the steps that we have seen? Problem formulation. So we have seen so many number of problems that could occur in a particular simulation. We have already studied what could be different types of problems, such as one we have seen an inventory problem, problem of an engine optimization, problem of determining the crash or determining the data by which the accidents of the planes are taking or crashing of the planes. That could be a real world situation, that could be your problem. Then the number of the customers in a coffee shop on a particular day, so that could be your problem. Now setting up of objectives. So you have to be very clear, you have to specifically mention your objectives. With this particular problem I want to know what is the parameter which is most affecting the system, how it can be controlled, what is the output required, and what I am going to do with that. So your objectives must be very clear, very specific, it must be perfectly clear. Then you are talking here about model conceptualization. Now model conceptualization means you have created a concept. So here you can create any kind of model, that you can say a physical model, an analytical model. So wherein you have not a physical model, a mathematical model. So you have collected so many data. You have formed a particular equation like statement there. Okay, this is the thing. And then you have collected the data you have collected. So once you have got a large number of data, then you can go for transferring your conceptual model into the simulation model. So here understand one thing, we are again going to study the different kinds of models. वो भी हम लोग आगे देखने वाले हैं कि मॉडल्स कितने टाइप के। बट यहाँ पर आप समझो कि अपने मॉडल का एक कंसेप्ट बनाया कि ओके इस तरह से होगा। अब कंसेप्ट बनाना मतलब क्या होता है कि आप कई सारी चीज़ें यहाँ पे अजम्पशंस लेते हो, कुछ चीज़ें आपको प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंसेस से पता होती है, सो यू गो फॉर दैट। सो बेसिकली कंसेप्चुअलाइजेशन इज फॉर्म्ड। और कई बार क्या होता है फिर हम मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग भी बनाते हैं, जैसे हम इक्वेशन बनाते हैं ना a+b=c, तो इस तरह का फिर कुछ हम इक्वेशंस, कुछ रिलेशंस, कुछ मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग, कुछ ऐसी एनालिटिकल थिंग पर से हम एक चीज़ पर आते हैं कि ऐसा 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 होना चाहिए। और उसके बाद में फिर हम उससे रिलेटेड जितने भी पैरामीटर्स या वेरिएबल्स हमने यूज़ किए, कि हमने कोई भी चीज़ की, जैसे हम बैंक के एग्जांपल की बात कर रहे थे कि बैंक में जब लोग आते तो बैंक ने कैसे डील करना चाहिए, तो ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है कि काफ़ी रश हो जाता है काउंटर पे। तो फिर आप देखेंगे काउंटर पे रश हो रहा तो उसके लिए क्या क्या पैरामीटर्स है, तो कस्टमर्स आ रहे हैं, किस तरह के कस्टमर्स कितने आ रहे हैं, तो आपके पास डाटा अवेलेबल है कि आपके पास जो 100 कस्टमर्स आते हैं उसमें मेजर कस्टमर्स आते हैं विड्रॉ करने के लिए, 5% कस्टमर्स आते हैं डिपॉजिट करने के लिए, बहुत ही कम कस्टमर्स आते हैं लोन के लिए, और उससे भी कम। तो फिर आपका जो रश होता है लोन काउंटर पर ही होता है, तो आप उसको हटा सकते हो। तो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग यू कैन गो। तो एक बार फिर आपका डाटा कलेक्ट हो गया, मतलब आपने कंसेप्ट आपके ख्याल में डाटा कलेक्ट हो गया, देन दैट इज मॉडल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन। तो इसके बाद में आपने किया आपका एक्चुअली सिमुलेशन का मॉडल यहाँ पर फिर आपने बनाया। फिर उसके बाद में वैलिडेशन, हमने फिर वैलिडेट किया, मतलब जो मॉडल आपने एक्चुअली बनाया जिसके ऊपर आप स्टडी करने वाले हो एक्चुअली आपके सिस्टम को रिप्रेजेंट करता है कि नहीं, और अगर वो करता है एक्चुअली रिप्रेजेंट, तो फिर आप उसको वेरीफाई करोगे। ओके ठीक है, फिर आप चेक करें कि एग्जैक्टली जैसा आपने बनाया वो वर्क कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, और अगर वो करता है दैट इज वेल एंड फाइन। उसके बाद में एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिज़ाइन, फिर उसके आप में एक दो पैरामीटर्स कम करके प्लस करके माइनस करके आप एक्सपेरिमेंट करोगे, कितने एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, नंबर्स कितने नहीं करना है, फिर उनके इफेक्ट क्या है चेक करना है, वो सारी चीज़ें। और उसके बेसिस पे फिर आपको जो डेटा मिलेगा उसको आप डॉक्यूमेंट करेंगे और फाइनली सिस्टम को इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे। मतलब यहाँ पर हमारा पार्ट कंप्लीट हो जाता है सिमुलेशन का। अब उसके बाद नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस है उसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की, ठीक है आपने फिर उसको डॉक्यूमेंट किया और वो फाइनली आपकी एक पॉलिसी बन गई कि दिस इज हाउ and how this is how you are going to work for that particular thing. So this is all about simulation. In the next lecture what we'll do, we'll see the different kinds of models. Already we have seen a discrete, continuous and mixed, but again we'll see what do you mean by mathematical model, what do you mean by static model, numerical simulation we have already seen, and then we see something about the particular system. So this is all for today. We'll stop here. See you in the next lecture. Till then, thank you class. Good day. Jai Hind.